for something turning out so bad. And if you do, I'll remind you that you're not to think of me at all, let alone to guide you. Oh, 'cause as we all get older, taste buds do decline. The sweet affair that lovers share turns sour off the vine. But I won't go there, I wouldn't dare make life what you will and me unaware. I'm glad to not care. And I may bob like a drake. I may let some mistake my heart do right off an easy whoa. But you can't be that Mrs. made from lonely Miss. If I'm to fall again, I'll call and tell you how it is. For now, I'll drink some. Tomorrow hung, yesterday be gone, but last night's rum. Yes, 'cause as we all get older, taste buds do a climb. A sweet affair that once impaired turns sweet and now is fine. Still moments hang there, hard to bear. Still I'm asking, will I make one more call? I hate to fall. I think that was better. She props up a pillow, pretends it's a crease. She prays off the heat. She's smiling through a clapstand. She misses a beat and collapses in her curls. Evening's reality unfurls. You find the steam on her skin, the sweat on her chin, your new world. She kicks off her Levi's, believes on her blouse. She dance through your house. She calls you through the toothpaste. You wanna get out and go dancing with a girl. Leaving the freshener, she twirls. You sneak a peek in the back. Fog on her glass, spell your world. Though you know space would show, don't you dear? Why not chase the only life that is clear?
Hello. All right. How can now you can hear me? Hopefully. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to the last viral poetry series reading of 2020. So good to be done with this stupid year. I hope everybody else is probably feeling the same. Um, I don't know. Yeah, maybe for some people it was a good year. I hope it was. If you are having a good year, I'm happy. That's good. People need to have a good year. So, again, welcome to the show. My name is Adam Greenfield. The music you just heard to open was by a friend of mine, a good friend. Called his name is Andrew Havey. If you have music that you would like to hear at the beginning of this and even at the end, please send it over. I'd be glad to play it as opening music to allow people in, or as people are coming in to just kind of come into something relaxing or heavy if that's what you do. If you play some death metal, let's play it. I mean, it might be kind of weird for a poetry reading, but it could be kind of fun too. So let's do it. So yeah, send that over. One other thing, if you saw the main screen there, you probably only saw Gil's name. Again, tonight's guest is Gil Sotu. But if you saw that, you probably noticed his name was there. Unfortunately, Carla had to cancel. She had a family emergency, so I'm hoping that everything's okay with her and Mario and everybody there. Um, so yeah, my thoughts with her there. She has agreed to come and be one of the featured guests in January. So look forward to that. So there's that. I didn't want to bring in a second guest for tonight for a couple of reasons actually. No, first is I didn't think it would be too fair to them to do kind of a short notice like that. You know, you got like a day or so to all of a sudden got to figure out maybe what you want to read and tell people and everything. And I didn't want to do that too short of a notice to them. Also, the other reason, Carla's kind of replaceable. Like, I just didn't feel like I wanted to be like, well, in place of Carla, we have so and so. Just she's just irreplaceable. So what I decided to do is just kind of leave that seat open for her. And that's how we're going to do tonight. So we're gonna talk to Gil for a bit. We're gonna hear him read and talk for a while. So I'm really looking forward to that. I've seen him perform a few times, and I'm looking forward to being on the sort of the front row end of that. So it should be pretty fun. Let's see what else is there. Let's see. Yeah, stick around. We're gonna have a book recommendation at the end. We're also gonna ask Gil to recommend one if he has one available. So there's good stuff. We'll play some more music at the end as well. Good stuff. Well, okay, I'm gonna talk more about that stuff at the end. I'll save that shit. Let's bring in Gil. So let's go ahead and get him over here. Let's do this. How are you, Gil? How's it going? Good. Yeah, thank you for making the time. I know that you have a really busy. You're in a Zoom meeting before this. You've got a newborn. You've got two other kids. I saw your wife dancing with your newborn earlier. It was pretty cute. I got to admit. So I appreciate you making the time for this. Good, good, good. Right, Gil. Give me 1 second here. Um, Hold on. We're about to hear you. Hold on. Let's bring it on. Let's try this again. Oh, now it's fun. All right. Let's see here if this works. Sorry, Marty, we're working on it. All right, how's that? I hear you, Gil. Yeah, I hear you. Oh, hold on. Let's see if maybe. See, this is the fun of trying these out. So, okay. So I think we are. Hopefully, they can hear us. Um, hopefully, Marjorie can check in. Marjorie, if you hear us, let us know. But I just wanted to kind of come back to really quick what you were saying about just kind of making room for people, and doing that. How long ago did you first start doing open mics, and do you remember where? She missed it. Oh, so close. Yeah, right. Okay, hold on one second. Let's see if we can get this sorted out. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's see here. Fortunately, we have time. Let's see. Yeah, this is good times. Good times. You know what? All right. I'm not sure it's that. I think it might be my fault. After the music, I might have when I refreshed. I had to refresh the page, and I think things might have reset. So I have to maybe redo a few things here. Let's see here. I'm getting a message, so hopefully Ted can in on this. Still not Gil. She's trying to relapse. We're working on it. I may end the stream and then restart it. You know what? Actually, do this, Gil. Go ahead and hop out and hop back in, and let's see if that works. All right, cool. All right. All right. Let's see if this works. Bring Gil back in. Hey, everybody. I don't know if you can hear me. All right. Gil is coming back in. Let's do this. Oh.
No problem, Marjorie. If you can hear me, let me know. Oh, she can hear me.
All right. Gil, it sounds like you are on the screen and you can be heard.
Yes.
I personally can't hear you or see you.
Oh, you can't hear me?
So I think, okay, cool. So here's what we're going to do. I think it's just lagging for me. Let me do this. Let me update this. Oh, well, what's going on here?
So Marjorie's saying we're both sounding
All right. Well,
fine.
I see that people are saying everything sounds fine. So here's what I'm going to do. I think there's just a lag and I can't hear right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop out. I'm going to let you just start reading, and then I will catch up hopefully soon.
All right.
And then and then we'll
If
go
you
from
log
there,
out,
because
isn't it going
I'm
to
not
kick me
sure
out?
what is why I'm having trouble here, but it just says you are activating. So who knows?
Okay.
So hold on a second here. Gil is showing 2 times. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to make it so he's showing only once. It might kick us out. I'm not sure. But I honestly can't hear anything, unfortunately. So here's what I'm gonna do. I don't know what's going on. This is not fun. It's not fun for me. I'm sure it's fun for everyone. But okay, here's what's gonna happen. Gil, people can hear you, so that's great. I'm just gonna go ahead and step aside. People can hear you, and let you read, and then I'll figure something out on my end. So, it looks like now Gil. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. If somebody in the chat can let me know if Gil is hidden behind his picture.
Yeah, it seems like I'm half hidden behind my picture.
Weird. Hold on a second. So, okay. So I see Gil now there, but I can't hear him. It looks like he's muted to me.
Well, I wasn't really saying anything, but you can't hear me at all, huh?
Gil, are you muted?
No, I'm not muted. I will mute and unmute. And now I'm unmuted. And you still can't hear? Either way,
Okay.
huh?
So it looks like people can hear you. I can't hear you, but I'm just gonna let you go ahead and read, because it sounds like people can hear you. So when you're done, just kind of give a little wave, and then I'll figure something out, and we'll go from there. All right.
Okay, cool. Wow. Welcome to 2020. This is crazy. I'm going to do one last check because I don't want to do all these poems if you guys can't hear me. Last check, if you can hear, yes. So Dragonfly Girl 78 can hear both. I hear both. I see both. It's just something with Adam. I
Gil,
don't know.
I hear you now.
Oh, you can hear me now? Cool.
Now I hear you. Okay.
Okay. All right. So it looks like your computer caught up to you.
Finally, yeah, go for it. So it's all you. I'm gonna step aside and let you jump off.
All right. Cool. So I want to start off with this piece that I love starting off with now. It's new pieces. All these are new pieces relatively within this last year. And it just this first piece is just a reminder of where I've how far I've gotten. Sometimes I forget to appreciate what I've accomplished and what I've been able to do and able to provide for my family with my art, and that's a huge deal. That was like my biggest dream. So when I get caught up in the angst of just the world, then I think of this poem, and we'll do it like that. Here we go. My pen feeds children, cute brown babies. Been spilling ink across sliced trees since the 90s. Backspinning words like B-boys in the 80s. All that to say it's been a long time coming. My pen feeds children, never feeds statistics. Leave it up to them and be in jail or a casket. Handcuffed in plastic, body cammed and panicked. Instead I use their words to build worlds. Jurassic, metaphor meals out my mind. Magic, murder any beat that I find. Tragic, pay bills with story and rhyme. Charismatic, God blesses me overtime. Fantastic still. I worry sometimes. What's the kind of world I want to leave behind? What's food to a child that can't breathe outside? Is your need bigger than what I could provide? Some people don't care what you got inside. They see your dark skin but don't recognize shine. You're a star to a world that closes its eyes. You're a star to a world that closes its eyes. Blind leading the greedy. Prayers wrote in graffiti. I'ma keep fighting till the fight don't need me. People dancing in danger. Instagram and the strangers. See me, you're a beautiful arrangement, analog or digital, your spirit and your physical. You don't need likes to prove that you are visible. See me, you're a beautiful arrangement, colorful, kind, and highly entertaining. Spirit or your physical, analog or digital, you don't need likes to prove that you are visible, indivisible. One nation under a soul clap, patty whack, give a man a break. You say you're under pressure, but you're the one adding the weight. Soul clap, step back, release the self-hate. Don't it feel good to love yourself that way? That part, just be happy that part, you're not defined by what others have. That part, just be happy you got a better half. That part, so many things could have stopped you from being born. You always thought you were a curse when all along you were a song. In the multiverse of me, I am a 1940s crooner, conch slick thick back in my hair, protests hidden in my love ballads. I am a sitcom dad. I am a wounded veteran. I am an athlete trying to prove something. I am the first black astronaut unremembered, sipping cognac on a beat up sofa, listening to Nat King Cole's Unforgettable. What I'm trying to say is that every version of me is unprogrammable. God gave us free will, so why in the hell would I allow you to take away mine? I got children's that I need to supply shelter with these sentences, lyrically, literally, and metaphorically. I got 75% of my own dopeness that I haven't even tapped into yet. Just wait till I take a machete to these insecurities. Boy, stop playing. Now step away from this morning mirror and show the world how bright you are. Thank you. It's really weird, like performing poetry in this vacuum where it's like performing poetry out in space and you don't hear any of the applause or you can't see anybody's reactions. You can quickly read comments, but that's about it. So I don't want to take up too much time. I'm going to do two more quick ones. This next piece is called Quicker Than a Kiss. It's a part of a whole song that I did with Lee Coulter, a good friend of mine. But I'm just going to read the poem part of it. And I did this for Father's Day. I just kind of gave in to the fact that a lot of my pieces are going to have to do with my family because they're the biggest part of me. And, part of me wants to do more political stuff and social activism stuff. But every day I have a little girl stomping on in between my legs, just happy to see me. So that's my reality right now, amongst all the other stuff. So I tried to really capture what was going on during this COVID time and me spending a lot more time with my kids and having a third one, and the last one. You can quote me on that. And so I just realized that time just goes by so fast, even when we're stuck at home. So I wrote this again. It's called Quicker Than a Kiss, or We'll Never Have This Again is the other title for it. We'll never have this again. We will never have this again. You this small and me this strong. You this impressed with my ability to simply walk into a room, to turn my legs into animated trees you could swing from, to reach things on the top shelf, to pee standing up. I build toy kingdoms that you are an expert at Godzillaing your way through. I throw you high into the blue of the afternoon and never miss your descent. Well, just that once, but we ain't telling mama about that, right? We will never have this again. You believing that police helicopters over our house are the coolest thing. Me knowing that they are looking for things that I never want you to see. You believing that asphalt and sidewalks bump, dip, and crack like ours. That houses are supposed to have bumps and dips and cracks like ours. Me knowing that 5 to 10 pay grades west, they got streets smoother than a politician's promise. Me promising to get you there someday. You telling you that our rough roads are simply part of the adventure. You believing me. You always believing me. We will never have this again. Me pouring sugar on truth. Sugar on truth, sugar on your skin. You cinnamon, baby girl, pure cinnamon. You caramel, little man. Daddy's hungry. Give me that baby toe to gobble right up. Where are you going? Ah! Fatherhood is a contract, unwritten, with ink that never dries, with a language vastly open to interpretation, on paper still alive. We are a testament to eternity. Although I need multiple mental health breaks like today, it's gonna take more than that tantrum of yours to ever make me want to leave your side. It is my job to make sure you inherit less emotional baggage than I had to carry, or at least better prepare you. I take this love seriously. How dangerous this world is, seriously. How beautiful this world can be when we have fun taking it seriously. When we only have these brief moments to get all of this done. So on the days that I squeeze you tighter and longer than your boundless energy will entertain, just allow me this quiet vulnerability for a moment. We will never have this exact us again. Let's go to the place where you don't hurt and I don't work. The place where, in the picture where that we love, that freezes the sunlight on our faces and the youth in our bodies. Pause that part of the video in the middle of the dance, mid-thrust, mid-air, off-beat, the indivisible, undeniable you and me. And I know we can't stay here forever, little one. Even in this digital age, we get lost in the hard drives for our need of individual ambitions. But for this moment, little one, I'm pretending that time passes by like those turtle-shaped clouds that you like to point out. And now I'm a gobble all them little toes right up. How long will you long for me to be your monster? How long will it take you to find the sword of puberty and consider me a monster? How many mistakes do I get in raising you and disappointing your mother? What if I just say no? You're not allowed to leave this moment, to grow into another body, to get too heavy for it to lift you over the crowd so you can see what is coming, so that the only thing you have to deal with is your imagination, and that is filled with furry neon and sweet things that make your mouth and hands sticky. And I got backpacks and several diaper bags full of sugar, not that sweet and low stuff either. I'm talking pure cane sugar on truth, sugar on skin. You cinnamon, baby girl, pure sweet spicy cinnamon. And I want you to tell that to any insecurity that questions you. You caramel, little man, daddy's hungry. Give me that disillusionment to gobble right up. Kids, we don't have to leave this castle until we want to, okay? Let's just sit here and pretend that time forgot us. Thank you. I got one more piece. Thank you. I got one more piece for you all. I hope you enjoy it. It's been a pleasure being here, even in the vacuum. It's all right. This is probably getting us used to doing poetry out in space, because I think that's going to be the next, evolution of how we connect with each other. In actuality, we are doing this in space, because this is bouncing off a satellite, right? Man, that's crazy. Think about it. All right, here we go. This is called In Love, and this is in a response again to 2020 and all the things that are going on. One sip of a drink you don't know what's in it, but I can tell you it's a lot of fun. In love, I lace my Converse, buckle my pants, don a shirt that allows for mobility, and give myself one last look in this mirror. I really need to clean this thing, but right now that doesn't matter. What I really need is just one final moment to bathe in this reflection and convince myself I am what I say I am. No excuses, no takebacks or apologies. Say my name. In love, I hop in the car, the whip, the ride, the hoopty, on my bike, on the bus. This is a beautiful day to just walk. And I turn up the music that makes me feel powerful, beautiful, proud, intelligent, gangsta, connected, hella black. I'm saying hella black, and I love it. I require my music louder than you might like, because I need my head right before I gotta clock in, attend this meeting, smile in your condescending face, deal with your microaggressions, address this officer, show my ID, show my respect, code switch, apply for this loan, apply for this job, meet your family, and or stop you from touching my hair. Say my name. In love, I invite you to my family's barbecue. I'll play in your league, make you feel welcomed in my church, in my restaurant, on my block, at my space table, around my children, at my concerts, in my damn house, on my skin, between my lips, and out my mouth. You lay your pillows upon my hospitality, knowing that you have 400 years of conditioning, an entire police force to cover any nighttime chills you may face. Say my name. In love, I can't stand the way you look at me sometimes. Like you're figuring out where at this hour you're going to find another hoop for me to jump through or entertain you with or slam a ball through or slap around my wrist. Like I'm okay for the moment, but I better not dare get any more familiar. Like I need to stay a sitcom away, a football field away, an NBA court, a concert stage, a car stereo, a manager, a publicist, an agent, a supervisor, or a neighborhood away. Say my name. I'm asking you in love to show me the same respect and consideration that you want me to show you. You act like I don't see the admiration you show your pets. You will kiss them openly in the mouth, but you get uneasy shaking my hand, allowing me in your space if I'm not working it or even seeing me as worth your time. I know, it can't be all of you. I'm generalizing, but doesn't that just suck? So if you're ready, I think it's time we met. I mean, I've entertained, loved, served, obeyed, worked for it, hired, admired, listened, educated, slaved for, amused, and scared you for so long, you think we know each other a little bit better. How about we start with names? Let me start first. Me first this time. My name is Sandra. George, Trayvon, Ahmad, Sean, Brianna, Natasha. I'll just stop there for a second. I know that's a mouthful, but didn't I hear you say over and over you are hungry for justice? Good. I'm glad we're in agreement. Then say my name. In love. I've been in love with my people since Aretha. No, before that. Since Nina. Since Fats and Langston. Since Marcus, Frederick, and Madam CJ. Since my mama taught me that my head should default in the up position. That I am what I say I am. That whips won't stop this love inside of me. That shackles won't stop this love inside of me. That police dogs, nooses, hoods, handcuffs, food deserts, and detention centers, defunded schools, community centers, or derogatory jokes behind my back won't stop this love inside of me. You've tried it all. Try me. I know I am worth every bit the same as you. My life matters. Say it. Say it in love. Say it because when we were free, we didn't start our own KKK. We just wanted our God-given legal right to sit at the same polished table that you ate from, and we still don't got it. So say it. Say it in love, because if you love your neighbor, then you love me. If you love your teachers and your doctors, if you love your soldiers, your emergency workers, then you have to love me. And you want to know something funny? Despite all that's been done to me for over 400 years, I love you too. Because you are a human being. Because your laugh sounds like my grandfather's. Because you quote Shakespeare almost as good as my uncle. Because you cried with me when Prince died. Because you were holding the sign next to me in this protest. Because you were holding my hand at church. Because you made diversity matter to your company. Because you taught your children our history. And what do you know? It ain't even February. In love, I come home at the end of my day, knowing that I might not even be safe there. I kick off my worn Converse, strip the pants and the shirt. Still haven't had time to clean this morning mirror. It's exhausting trying to play catch up. I think I can think of nothing better to do than to wash off the residue of, well, everything. But first, I need this mirror. I need to let myself know that I am what I say I am, and that I have a name worth saying. Love. Thank you. That's it.
I'm kind of speechless. Gosh. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. So I'm a little thrown off. I want to kind of let that one have its own life. I want to ask you about the one about being a father, because I'm kind of curious about that. I'm 45. I have no kids. I kind of wanted kids, and then I realized my DNA probably the world's better without it. So I'm kind of curious. Did you always want kids, and or were you a little surprised at the first one when you realized just all that feeling that you got from having children?
My wife always teases me because I didn't cry when my first son, my only son, Jackson, was born. I have a son and two daughters, and but it's the experiences as they're growing that really makes it for me. Those moments. It's not that moment that he was brought into this world. It was all those moments afterwards that I try to hold on to. I always wanted to be a father. Yeah, definitely. I knew that I'd be a decent father. I didn't realize how much they get in the way of everything else. But so in some ways, in most ways they're amazing. Some ways they're really hard. But yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way, though. Definitely.
Have you noticed a change in your writing, like maybe your voice or the style since you've had kids?
Yeah, a few things. One is getting harder and harder to memorize shit, because
Yeah.
just my mind is also occupied, and then everybody's like requesting things. But yeah, like there's a lot of comparison, because poets always are comparing two things that don't go together, and I just see what he's doing, and I compare it to what's happening in the world, what's happening to me. I compare it to like how I was when I was younger, and it feels right and natural. Like even with comedians, I know as they get older, they talk about their kids, and you're thinking like, and you miss their old stuff, but then at the same time you can appreciate like the journey because they're just talking about where they're at the moment. Yeah.
That's interesting. It's got to be a change. The change has to be so drastic, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like I can't. There's only so much that I can sort of have in my own life experience to kind of relate to that, and
Mhm.
it's hard because again I have a cat. Like I can't.
Yeah.
I love my cat. I'm never going to say my cat is my like actual legitimate kid, or it's like as
Yeah.
hard as raising a human child. Like I'll never say that, but I mean that's difficult. That's a hard
Yeah.
thing.
You know what? It definitely, and I know some strong cat lovers and dog lovers. And here's the comparison that I draw is that you can't just think about you, even with pets. Like if you're gonna go on vacation, if you're gonna go, wherever, you can't just think about you and not think about their well-being.
Right.
And where kids, you're a little bit more conscious of is, every time you yell at them or you have to talk to them sternly or whatever, you wonder in the back of your mind if you're messing up. You're always wondering if you're doing this right. That's one worry. And then the other worry that I don't think pet owners have, I don't know how we got in this conversation, but that pet owners have as much, is that I am constantly worried something's going to happen to them, like constantly. I have to push those thoughts out or just let it slide by. So like I'm always like, even when they're on the playground, like my head automatically goes to like an accident that could happen. Like I'm thinking ahead of time, and I just gotta let that go and let them be. And so that's the thing that it sucks, but it's just part of being a father. The big part is like, knowing if you're messing them up, because you have people who are experts or even other parents who'll tell you, oh, you should do this, but honestly nobody knows, because I can't think of one person who can tell me their parents were absolutely perfect and they didn't wish they did one thing or the other different or whatever. So yeah.
Have you written any poetry that you're maybe concerned when your children get a little older they'll find?
No, that was never my
No.
style to be too raunchy or
Okay.
anything
Okay.
like that. Yeah, no, I'm not worried about that.
It wasn't your thing. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I was just curious because I know some people, they put stuff out there and then they have kids and they're like, should I take that off like public? Like they're just
Yeah.
that happens a lot in comedy. I would say probably a lot more.
Yeah,
than
definitely in
poetry.
comedy. My first barrier is my mom. Worried about my mom catching it and just giving me a lecture, not because I'm scared of her, just because I don't want to hear it. And then next is my wife, because then I have to live with her, and then it's my children. So if it passes the mama and the wife test, then I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. So you've got people that hold you accountable to this stuff. Like
Yeah,
I said, I'm single, childless. Like I made my
yeah,
mom cry with a poem once. I didn't mean
uh,
to. I thought she might like it, but
yeah.
oops. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll like, even like I took some creative liberties with a poem involving my mom, and it was just like a wish fulfillment thing, and she still talks to me about it to this day. So yeah,
They're good for that too.
yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah,
really good.
yeah, yeah. They'll let you know.
So I want to ask about you do a lot of community building,
Mm-hmm.
and you do it through like poetry and music as well. So I'm
Yeah.
curious if that's something that you've always been drawn to, or if there was maybe like a light bulb moment where you decided that you wanted to do it using music and poetry as the vehicle.
Well, I've always combined music and poetry. From when I first started performing, it was just a part of who I was. I think I started out writing more songs than poems, and like for me, the two just mesh like naturally. I prefer performing with music, even if it's just a poem, because like I feed off of the energy, and I feed off the energy of the music, and I feed the energy of the music. So the musicians are following along to how I inflect the words, and then I'm also feeding off of that energy, and I think that it enhances the experience for the audience, as long as the music is not overpowering. Um, and so a long time ago, I figured out that it was my job to be a bridge. So like I'll do events like this. I'll do like very like kind of hood events. I'll do like hoity-toity, like the Old Globe or the San Diego Opera or the San Diego Symphony, events like that. And I'll do the same kinds of pieces everywhere. But I feel like it's my job to bridge communities. Like even in high school, I was like a kind of this butterfly that went to like the nerds and the jocks and the hipsters and all that stuff. That's just the type of person that I am.
So you're saying we're not hoity-toity? Is that what you're
Not at all.
referring with?
No, no, no.
Okay, good. Actually, I'm kind of happy with that.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Like that's
You do have an NPR voice though, which it's a compliment.
I
but it's
appreciate
that smooth
no,
NPR
I'll
voice.
take it.
Yeah.
My quickly, my mother used to be a radio DJ when we lived. We were also in the military family, so we were stationed in Japan, and my mother was a radio DJ for the Air Force Base there, and she. I remember listening to the tapes that she would make, and bring home, and I just listened to it, and yeah. Anyway, so, oh boy, I totally had a question. That NPR comment kind of tossed me for a loop there. Yeah. Oh, how long ago? We may have talked about it. I don't know if people could hear you at the time, but how long have you been performing?
Well, I am 42 now, so I've been performing really since high school, like since I was like 17, 16. I performed at like high school rallies. I was like singing and stuff like that, and did a couple of monologues for theater, and was in a couple of like vocal jazz bands and stuff like that. So I did that, and then and I was always singing and rapping with my friends. I never really gotten into poetry, and I was writing short stories. And then it wasn't until I got in the Navy I started my own open mic. I didn't even know what an open mic was. I just got everybody together who I knew was creative, and like, let's share some of our work. We had a lot of time and ocean in front of us. And then when I got out and I was living in Oxnard, California, I went to my first open mic and I read, and then I was hooked after that, and I really connected with that community. And I just been doing open mics, and then from there, from open mics, just people just kept asking me to do other shows and features, and then it just took off from there.
I'm I gotta admit, I'm a terribly shocked that there was some poetry happening in the Navy. Like
Yeah.
that's not the Navy I grew up with, because my dad
No.
was in the Navy as well.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming the Navy has changed since then. But
Yeah, there's actually in my open mic there was a lot of, in the one I hosted before COVID, there's a lot of people in the military that would come up and perform.
That's cool.
But even back then, I would say, and this is in, like, I was in the Navy from 96 to 2000. It's just, knowing people who were creative and, like, like discovering, like, oh, I didn't know this, or they found it. Mostly it was like them finding out that I wrote, and then they're like, hey, I wrote some stuff too. And then, like, getting enough of those conversations, I'm always going to be the guy who organizes those people together, because why not?
That you're of giving them the confidence to share it as well if they don't have it. Like, I know one of my favorite poets here in San Diego, Amber Robinson. She was in the military as well, and she writes about her experiences there. And there's just a whole group of people who are writers and that were in the military in San Diego. And I guess it kind of makes sense. This is kind of a military town.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's something that I didn't expect, I guess.
Yeah, like Jim Moreno is another veteran Navy poet. There's quite a few. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I don't know why I never thought of it. It's not like poets can't be in the military. I don't know why.
Yeah.
That just surprises me. It's just what I grew up with, seeing was not that.
Yeah.
But it's cool. That's pretty interesting.
There's a big movement for hold on to that question. I was just gonna say there's a big movement for veterans in the arts. In fact, in a couple weeks, I'm gonna be doing a big conference. I did another one last year in Washington State, and then I'm gonna do one that's based out of Florida. And it's strictly about veterans in the arts and getting them more access to different types of arts. So there's definitely a big movement in that.
That's really cool. How is that kind of a newer movement? Has that been going for a little while?
It's been going for a while. I just got involved with it. Part of my man Justin Hutnell from So Say We All. He got me involved. Yeah,
military as well?
No, he just does a lot of programming for the military. So he even put out a book of stories for veterans. I mean, by and about veterans. Short stories.
What doesn't Justin do?
Bullshit.
Everything.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He was part of my wedding, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I like Justin. I like him a lot. He's just it seems like he's always like in something. So
yeah. He has that hustle mentality. So what was the question you're gonna ask me? I'm sorry.
Well, I was just gonna kind of sort of wrap it up a little bit, but
Okay.
but I'm glad we heard more about that what you're doing, because that was actually one of the questions. Where can people find you and other things that you're doing, and just tell people what to do or where to go to look for you.
Mostly they can just go to gilsotu.com, gillsotu.com. Right now I'm hosting an online poetry series, and I'm getting some of the best poets in the world to people who have won Emmys and Tonys and who are really been doing it at a high level for a long time. It's called The Poet's Tree. Marjorie always participates, and I encourage all poets out there. We give writing prompts, so it's almost like a part interview, part workshop, and we talk less about what they're up to and more about the process of writing. And you can submit your work and you have a famous poet read it for you, and so you can hear it out loud, and we have a lot of fun, and it's every Tuesday at 5:30. We have about I say 2 or 3 more episodes. Then we're gonna take a break and come back. So yeah, and shout outs to Marjorie, who always submits and is one of our barks and really makes the show. So
I see her Facebook pushing that show, and I've checked it out myself. It's a lot of fun. It's
Cool,
really
cool.
I like the format of it.
Thank you. And Dragonfly Girl 78, she's asking. It's called The Poet's Tree. The Poet's Tree. Yeah. And you can go ahead.
Is that an extension from the reading that would happen at Balboa?
No, that's
a Poet's Tree.
No, that's a poet and art series.
Well, no, but there was one. There was outdoors. There was like a poet. There's like a bench. Maybe I'm thinking of a different reading.
Yeah. No, this is my own that I came up with. They just said, "Hey, Gil, do you want to do a show?" And I'm like, "Yeah. What do you want to do?" And then so I took a second and thought, like, I want to interview all of my heroes and get inspired and inspire other people. And so it's really a show for me to learn as much as I can from people I don't usually have access to, and some that I do, and then just let people in on the conversation.
It's really cool. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I checked it out, and I've been impressed with many of the people that you've had on there. So
yeah,
it's always cool that you're able to get a hold of those guys.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to kind of finish off here. Do you have a book recommendation for people to check out?
A book? Does that you're talking about a poetry book?
Doesn't have to be poetry. It can be anything. It can be something. One in October, I did the voter's guide that I thought people really needed to read before they voted. So it could be anything that you find like important to you, past, present.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, you know what book? This is two books. I'll say two books. I'm looking at my Audible because most of my books are on Audible now. Marjorie was saying the shows for the Poet's Tree, they're archived, so you can watch past episodes and see those. But there's a book called The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. It's called The Silent Patient, and it's kind of a thriller, kind of like the girl on the train, kind of like the girl with the dragon tattoo, kind of that kind of mystery kind of thing. I really like that. And then there's another book that I really liked called Moonwalking with Einstein.
I think I've heard of that actually.
Yeah, and that's about memory and how memory works and how people there's this huge memory competitions in America and in Europe, and so that just brought me into a whole other world as a journalist who knew nothing about memory, and he trained for a year and became the U.S. champion. And he has an average memory. And what the cool thing about it that I didn't know is that they have a one of the segments of the memory competition is you have to read and write out again a poem. So there's like a poetry component of the memorization thing. And I'm like, all these years I've been doing poetry, I've never worked on my memory, and I don't know why, because it's essential. It's not. It can be essential, especially to the spoken word kind of style, to what you do. So I found that, and then you can't go wrong listening to or reading anything from Malcolm Gladwell. His latest book, was it Lies? What is it called? I just had it.
I'm not familiar with the latest one, but. Yeah.
Give me 1 second and it'll come up. Talking to Strangers. Oh my God, it's such a good book. And that one's about really quick. That one's about how we think that we can tell when someone's lying, and how we interpret other people. And it goes from like what happened with Sandra Bland to like the judicial system and judges and how they sentence people, to just like your everyday, like how you could spot a lie. And it's about a lot of different things, but it's really, really good. And if you get a chance, please read that, Talking to Strangers.
Yeah,
and it's very entertaining. Yeah.
Okay, I'll check it out because I'm always looking for new books, and the memory one too. I might have to look into. You mentioned memorizing poetry, and I didn't at first, and then I saw Chris Van Oy perform, and I was like, you know what, I gotta
Yeah.
up my game. Like I need to do better with this. And I just made it a goal of mine to make sure that I memorized as much poetry as I could. I right now I have about maybe 15 to 20 minutes memorized that I could do. But like it's interesting because you were talking about doing it with music, and I don't know if I could do it with music because I've got it memorized by beat and rhythm. So like for me, having that improvisation aspect to it, or semi improvisation, actually, it would throw me off, I think. So that would be a challenge for sure.
Yeah, you can actually. What I do is I do a kind of a hybrid. So like I'll, I do the poem, and when I'm practicing, it's hard because I'm listening to the music and I'm listening to myself perform, right? But then once I do it live, I stop listening to the music except for the energy of it, and then I perform. And then somewhere like after I'm done with the poem and the music is still going, I let myself really just dig into the moment, and then I say whatever comes out of my mouth, and it becomes this really powerful moment of like meshing like the words and the themes of what I was saying before and the music, and it just becomes a powerful moment. It's really enjoyable, man. It's a wave to ride,
I bet,
especially with live musicians.
Yeah. I mean, that's got that. I remember when I was younger and I was playing music and doing open mic, and one time I got up and this guy was like, "Hey, you want me to play my bongos along with it?" And I'm like, "Sure." And so that was kind of different experience that I was used to at the time. So I can just see that. I understand that challenge, and it kind of makes me want to try it. But I'm gonna
do it, man. You have nothing to lose.
Practice. Yeah. You're right. I don't.
Just get a guitar player. Just that's all you need right now. Just get a guitar player, and have your poem memorized, and like give yourself the space to improvise if you want, or not if you don't want to, and you'll see what happens. It's crazy.
I'm going to try this. I'll try this. All right, Gil, I really appreciate you making the time tonight. I'll let you get back to your family, but thanks, Gil. It was a pleasure.
All right. Thank you, Adam. I'll see you later.
Sounds good. All right. So that was pretty great. I'm a big fan of Gil. He like I said, I've seen him perform a handful of times, and that was it was good to like I said, have that front row seat. So it was really cool. Thank you everybody for who stuck around and listened. Marjorie, Dragonfly Girl 78, which is probably the coolest moniker I've heard in a while. So thank you everybody. I know Ted's out there watching, listening. So I really, really appreciate it. Before we go, I'm going to give you my book recommendation if you're interested. This is this, I believe, just came out, but this is a book. Let's see if I can fit it in there. It's called The Voice of Sheila Chandra by Kazim Ali. And he is actually teaching at, I think, San Diego State right now. But he's an amazing poet. Like I just watched a live event. Oh, Corinne, of course, duh. So I just watched. Hi, Corinne. I just watched an event through Book Catapult that he did a reading of, and yeah, I'm such a big fan of this. And this book, it's 3 long poems, like 3 very long pieces. Like I can't even explain it, and some of it's like very almost cryptic in a way. Here, let me see. Like you can see it. It's a lot of fun. It's a fantastic book. So check this out. Hopefully, I'm going to try to get him on for one of these readings if I can. He seems like a really cool dude, and I'm excited to try. But check out this book, The Voice of Sheila Chandra by Kazim Ali. It is a fantastic book. No, Corinne, no poems from me tonight. I actually haven't. I haven't practiced in a long time. I've written some lately, but I haven't practiced any. So if anybody wants to have me as a guest on their poetry show, I'd be glad to read some. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna pass on reading tonight. But I appreciate the question. Anyway, thanks again for showing up. I really appreciate it. We will be back. Oh, by the way, good riddance 2020. Eat a bag of dicks. I'm looking forward to 2021 because just I don't know. I'm not going to say it's going to be better, but I mean, it's got there's a step up somewhere, right? So thanks everyone that's here checking this out and checking out all the previous shows if you've been to them and all the future ones as well. Just sharing it. If you want to follow us, we've got a Facebook page there. We've got an Instagram page. I don't post much on those. I just post the events and any images, maybe a couple times a month. Like it's not a lot, so I'm not going to clog your feed with a bunch of crap. So feel free to follow us there. Otherwise, we are here every first Wednesday of every month. The next reading will be January 6th, I believe that is the date. It is the first Wednesday. Carla Cordero, barring any unfortunate emergencies, will be here, and hopefully we will get we'll get more cool people to join us that night. Once again, thank you to Gil for showing up and being awesome. I'm so that was just a fantastic reading. The one about his dad, the one about the social situation. It was just, yeah. I'm in awe of some of the people that I've met here in San Diego in the poetry scene. It's kind of makes me speechless sometimes. Anyway, thank you all. Have a wonderful evening, wonderful rest of your December. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, Boxing Day. What other holidays are happening? I don't know. Isn't Elvis's birthday sometime? No, that's in January. Oh, Lennon got shot in December. That's not a good thing to celebrate. Just celebrate the year ending. I'm working on it myself. It's not easy, but I'm trying. So that's all we can ask for. I hope you all have a fantastic evening, and we will talk to you in December. We're going to close out with more music from my friend Drew Havey. Again, if you have music or you know anybody that would love to have want to have their music played at the beginning and end of the show, let me know. Otherwise, have a wonderful evening, everybody.
What type of life have I? It's not like you're new to me. Far as you are through me. Come end of day and you're gone. In any light I'm fonder than you know. But as it doesn't show, I won't wake you. Folding the Sunday strip, I dumped the cup, neglected the eggs I baked, rejected. Some pretty silent song I'll make from the pace your breathing keeps. But as you're still asleep, I won't wake you. Don't get out of bed, Carol, there will be a day. Don't get out of bed, Carol, there will be another day. As long as you can doze is probably all our day. I didn't want to see that show anyway. I won't wake you. I won't wake you. Don't get out of bed, Carol, there will be a day. Don't get out of bed, Carol, there will be another day. As long as you can doze, it's probably all our day. I didn't want to see that show anyway. I won't wake you.